I'm Jonathan Benjamin Alvarado, and I'm privileged and very grateful to have the opportunity to share with you some of my reflections upon 10 years of the Abbey. And for me, this is a back to the future type of adventure. And let me just explain to you all. My wife and I and our family, we moved here from Athens, Georgia. I was finishing my doctorate there, and I worked there for a few years. And we belong to a church community, a little community in an old church next to the river across the campus from the university, the Oconee Street United Methodist Church. And it was a very interesting little church. It was a place where we had a closeted gay minister, where we served the privileged, poor, the dispossessed, blind, the cripple, and crazy people like myself. The one thing that was also beautiful about it is they had a ministry called Our Daily Bread that every day, without fail, fed people in the community. And it was a blessed community. I have to tell you that I felt so richly rewarded to be a part of something like that that was much, much bigger than me. And you have to imagine that when we left, what a sense of loss and despair for us to come to a place where the first place that we went to was First United Methodist Church, which was significantly larger and a heck of a lot more sterile. And it was difficult to navigate my faith journey in that particular space. That's not to say that there weren't people there who were wonderful and beautiful and willing to extend themselves in so many ways to us as a family. And yet, I fell away from it. I became part of the unchurched for a full 10 years. You know, I still believe in God. I have a deep abiding faith in all things that are good. But I didn't have a place that I could call home. Ironically enough, my wife asked me about 7 years ago or 6 years ago if I would be willing to re-engage with the faith community, to come to the Abbey. I knew Deborah from her time at First Church, and it was appealing to me, especially because it was so much more intimate than First Church had been. And I got to tell you, this is indeed a queer place. You know, that it is a coffee shop, bookstore, church, the home of subversive social activists and community organizers, willing and very intentionally going out and serving a community, much in the same way that my home at Oconee Street had done years past. More importantly for me, it's a place that lives the word of the goddess, a place that lives the faith of the Bible, and that I'm blessed to have this faith visiting the place that I work. I work at a university down the road from here, and the campus ministry has been one of the most vibrant things that they have been able to share out to the community beyond the walls of this small little place here. And very importantly to me, because I'm also a veteran, that the military-connected family is able to be a part of all of that ministry. And so, ironically enough, I have gone back to the future. I've gone back to where my prologue is the past, my past is the prologue, and I find myself once again in the midst of a blessed community who doesn't ask any questions, who continues to advocate, give voice to those who have no voice, and act on behalf of those of us who may be extremely privileged and yet don't yet fully understand all the gifts that we possess to share with others, kind of referring to what you talked about, Taylor. So in that way, I wanted just to let Deborah and everybody else in this community know how proud I am to be a member of this congregation and the wonderful things that we bring every single week. And the fact of the matter is, we were not dissuaded by the pandemic. It only made the community stronger. I'm grateful for that, and congratulations on 10 years.